Up, 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 up. There it is. I can't wait to watch the replay of a befuddled Anthony looking around to figure out why he could not hear himself. Hockey Talk Show on a Thursday. Oh, it's been a long one. It has been a long one. Work, family, a little bit of car shopping in there. Flat out exhausted, but excited as hell to be here and to be talking hockey, and not just hockey, by the way, but old time hockey. Brawling, knockdown, drag out, fighting hockey. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Ball Peach? Good to see you here, my man. We're going to talk the big brawl in Detroit and Calgary. We're going to talk about Houston getting a hockey team. It was just a couple of days ago. I was like, boy, I think Houston would be really good to get a hockey team. I think that's a town that deserves a hockey team. The Rockets, the Astros, the Texans, they need a hockey team. And now look at the headlines today. Houston entertaining an NHL franchise. We'll get into it. We got some new goalie helmets to talk about. We've got Mike Camilleri suiting up for the Edmonton Oilers for the first time. Tyson, welcome to the program. Love the show. Love you, bud. Appreciate you guys being here. Feel free to chime in. You could do so on the phone number at 631-438-1768, or you can continue the comments in the comment section, Facebook and YouTube. Totally cool. You could also do it on Twitter if you'd like. But I like the comment sections and the phone numbers for sure. Those things work the absolute best. I think we're going to start with the brawl. I think that's what we got to go to. That is the biggest news story. It's funny. I'm so usually I have time to get everything ready. I had zero time. We're jumping in and we're moving right along. Freddie, let's make the Red Wings tough again. Yeah, wasn't it nice? Wasn't it nice to see some old school, old time hockey? I'll tell you what upsets me right off the bat, and I love the NHL, and I like to give them credit. I'm not one of these guys that likes to critique the NHL, but I like watching the game recaps. I watch every. If I can't watch the game, I try and get in and watch every game recap just so I know what's going on. I just always love to do it, and I'm watching the game. Now I had seen on Twitter about the brawl, you know. It was kind of a later game for me. I do a morning show here on Long Island, so I'm in bed kind of early. So I do catch up on a lot of NHL action the next day with the game recaps. So I'm going through and I'm watching the recap, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see this brawl. And I noticed like the game recap is like 4 minutes long. And I'm like, this must not have been that much of a brawl if it's only the whole game recap. It's like 4 minutes. Sure enough, no brawl in the recap. What the hell, NHL? What are we doing here? No brawl in the recap. Come on, man. I mean, I know we're taking fighting out of the game. Believe me, I totally get it. I'm not crazy about it, but I'm not one of these people that fights against it. Look, scoring drives ratings to hockey. I understand that. It's not the grabbing, the tugging, and the pulling. I like a tougher game. I'd like there to be at least one enforcer that can drop the gloves on every team, but I'm realistic. But to be ashamed of your product is what upsets me. Like, there was a brawl. Embrace it. Like, they literally, I mean, it was literally like before the brawl, cut, after the brawl, game over. And what are we doing here? Show the brawls. It wasn't a bad one. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm feeling bad for Travis Hamonic. It was a smidge on the upsetting side. Hamonic's my man. I was a big Hamonic fan when he was with the New York Islanders. I like the guy a lot. I thought it was a strong move for the Calgary Flames. I thought Calgary getting Hamonic was like just spot on. You know, when a team can reach out and get the player that they need, it's great. Good for them. I mean, would I like to see him in the blue and orange this year? I sure would have. But given the circumstances of everything that's going on, I certainly understand why he was dealt and why he was moved. And again, look, I'm a hockey fan. I get it. I know how to put my own rooting interests aside and just see what's a flat out good hockey move. And picking up Hamonic is just a flat out good hockey move. So I'm not upset about that at all or anything. But boy, did he get the pants beat out. He got the snot beat into him last night. We're going to check out some of the highlights. Let's go right on over to it here. Let's watch it together. This was right about the moment. Now, there was a little bit of a fight, and just after the fight is when things got really bad. In fact, Sportsnet, and we're getting this courtesy of Sportsnet's YouTube channel, Sportsnet was carrying it. It looks like they were about to go into break here when they decided, oh, wait a second, there's fisticuffs, which, by the way, kudos, since we took a shot at the NHL, kudos to Sportsnet for recognizing that there was an ongoing situation and making something happen right there. Let's pick it up right here.
Witkowski's still yapping as he show the gate.
Well, the guy's sticking around. Witkowski back out there. What's up, homie? Let's figure it out. Hamonic got taken down really, really quick. I mean, this started quick. Here's Hamonic and Mantha right over here. This just... What was that from the Anchorman? That escalated quickly. Brick killed a guy. I mean, it just starts super, super quick here. Let's bring it up right here.
Witkowski's still yapping as
Witkowski yapping. Kachuk giving him a shot to the back of the skates right there. Who gave me a shot? It was me. Hamonic right in, wants a piece. They didn't like how the fight went. Their guy kind of got beat up a little bit. Look at Hamonic gets taken down and faces Mantha, and not for nothing, but Mantha's got a good 6 to 8 inches on him. Dear Lord. Look at Jimmy Howard in there. What are you doing? You're not even doing anything. Stop embarrassing everybody. Somebody hold me. It's Jimmy Howard. Somebody hold me. Please hold me. By the way, look at Mantha right now on top of Hamonic, beating the snot out of him. Anthony Mantha had a referee on his back, had a linesman on his back, and he's still just coming over the top, throwing haymakers, man. Just throwing haymakers. That's old-time hockey. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. God, the game is missing this. A little bit of bite, a little bit of grit. Need them bench clearers.
As we went to break, everything broke loose between the benches. You saw Witkowski was still yapping.
Look at Hamonic. Oh, man, look at him. Oh, look at that snot, literally bloody snot beat out of him. It's got graphic and gross quick. Look at my man. Oh, that's a beating. Look at this jersey, blood all over it. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Is our lower third on that? Sorry, let me get that out of your way. There it is. Look at the little bit of blood right in here. Look at the, we'll see a little snot blood. Hashtag snot blood.
Hamonic is just getting up off the ground. Unfortunately, the gate was opened to get Witkowski off the ice. And this is
look at Witkowski.
Witkowski. They thought Witkowski took a liberty.
Yeah, he did take a liberty.
After he'd already stunned him and knocked him down on the ice, Hamonic was vocal with this. Witkowski went to the penalty box. He came off, the door right in front of me opened, and he came off and then went back onto the ice and had an altercation with the Flames bench. Hamonic came across, he ended up in it with Mantha.
Now that's Gary Galley talking, and look at Gary Galley over here. There he is right there in the suit.
But the door was already
just praying
open.
Nobody hits him.
Hamonic certainly not happy that the door was open. And this was a lot that went on between these two benches, and Mantha and Hamonic went at it pretty strongly in between these benches.
Look at Hamonic just getting overpowered.
The gate has been open for a good 15-20 seconds, and as they move themselves along here, unfortunately for Hamonic,
so tough.
He's going to have no back support that he thinks is behind him, and he goes right through the door. And that's where he goes down right there, and that's unfortunate that there was too many bodies to get the door shut. And really there was nothing to hold him up. And
there's another view of it here. Oh, here it is right here.
A solid.
Here's the other view.
I know he was mad, and it's unfortunate, but
here it is. Look at this.
There was nothing we could do.
Look at Mantha.
You can see the gate, and I'm trying to keep
just
the gate as open as I can
him,
so it doesn't get in the way. And the linesman is trying to get in to get Mantha off the top of Hamonic.
I've got an overhead view of everything up where I'm sitting, and there were several rights delivered by Mantha. in that position right there.
He was throwing
several rights delivered by Mantha.
Bench was up on the bench against the glass, and they were punching the glass. My shoulders were moving. The glass getting punched. They were extremely
upset. Look at
upset.
Gary Galley. You okay? You got the snot beat out of you. Hashtag snot blood.
If you're Hamonic, you're using the backboards as support. So even though he's fighting a big, solid player like Mantha, he's using leverage of the boards to keep himself upright.
Nothing was going to help Travis Hamonic.
Just disappears.
I mean, nothing.
And it's a helpless feeling when there's nothing stopping you going down. And it put him at a severe disadvantage for sure.
I think you're right about the Flames being upset about the liberty that Witkowski originally took, and I think they may also be upset that they feel that maybe Witkowski was, you know, out of his weight class on that one, ahead of his weight class.
Maybe they were upset that they got the snot beat out of them.
Well, you know, when he went by the bench,
brutally, just awfully just taken care of, both score wise and in the fight wise. I mean, what they wound up losing that game 8-2, 8-deucer. And, I mean, or was it 6-2? It was 6-2 at that time. Did they add a couple more? By the way, I'll say this again, scoring. I mean, you had the Devils beating the Blackhawks 7-5. This game ended 8-2. Scoring just feels so up. I mean, how great is this? We had an 8-2 game and a friggin' brawl broke out. Anytime any team wins by 6 goals, there should be a brawl involved. I don't know how there's not. I give credit to Travis Hamonic for just being tough, because that Mantha, you heard several shots. That Mantha friggin' leaned in. My man leaned in to Travis Hamonic on top of him. Linesman on him and all. It didn't even matter. He was swinging the linesman a little bit. He was swinging the linesman. It is a little bit like Detroit Avs. Yeah, it's that good old time hockey. Man, there's nothing wrong with that. The NHL should embrace that. They really should. The fact that they took it out of their game recap is so disappointing to me. So super disappointing to me. I don't know if Matt Tkachuk gets a suspension on this one. I tend to think that the National Hockey League takes liberties even with their own rules. They have their rules, and then they have their ways of interpreting their rules. And it's kind of whatever they really feel like at the time. I mean, there's really, honestly, there's no real way of knowing what the National Hockey League is going to do. Your guess is as good as mine as far as that goes. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a big time suspension, and I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't all that impressive. I'll tell you what, though, what I'm excited about is the next time these two teams come together, I want to see these two guys go at it once again. I mean, now you're talking. You know, this is how, the days of the big rivalries, you still have it, Toronto, Montreal, you got it, Islanders, Rangers, of course, but elsewhere, it's kind of scattered. You don't get those big knockdown, drag out, like just, fights, those big fights. I remember Trevor Gillies and Haley. Hell yeah, man. The Pens, those are brawls. You need those brawls, those knockdown, drag-out fights. It's good for the game. Hell, there's been more brawls in baseball than there's been in hockey recently. I mean, that's embarrassing because baseball's filled with a bunch of pansies. It's just good to see old-time hockey, some brawling in there between the between the Red Wings and the Calgary Flames. Just some brawls. I mean, look at this picture right here. Just look at this. That's what you want to see. That's old-time hockey, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's just beautiful. That's just a beautiful shot. I like that framed. That's better than a bouquet of flowers. I'll give this to my wife instead of flowers. She'll love it. Wife likes a lot of blood. Look at this. Look at the goalies are involved. Even though they're total wusses, they're trying. They're trying to be people. Look at Mantha. Look at, he's saying to him right now. He's saying to Hamonic, I'm going to draw blood snot from you. I'm going to make you blood snot. Hashtag blood snot. Look at just pounding Hamonic. Oh my goodness. Dear Lord. Look at that. Look at the fighting. Mantha looks like one of Harvey Weinstein's dates. That's inappropriate. I'd like to apologize for that. That's too soon. That is too soon. Look at these two dancing. What are you guys going to do? You going to hug? You going to go out on a date, or are you going to fight? I love the linesman. No, don't hit him. as Mantha is pounding away at poor Travis Hamonic.
Broke loose between the benches. You saw Witkowski was still yapping at the
Look at Hamonic. Look at Bloodsnot right there. Look at there he is. Let's get in on Bloodsnot. Oh, look at Bloodsnot. Look at Bloodsnot. Look at him right there. There's Bloodsnot. Hashtag Bloodsnot. It's good to see some old-time hockey, man. Oh, that's good. The game needs it. I feel like I can breathe again. I don't know. I swear to God, like sometimes I feel like claustrophobic. The game was nasty. It's a 6-2 game. You know, I mean, I get it. The game was nasty, as a 6-2 game should be. 631-438-1768 to get in on the show. Yeah, you know what? Ball Beach brings up a good point. What is with Detroit? I chimed in on that game too. And, boy, it was empty. I don't know if we have a shot at one of the earlier scenes. But there are just empty seats. I mean, you got a new arena. I get that the team is not all that excited. Look at these empty seats. Take a look into the crowd. Look at all the empty seats. What the hell is going on here? It's craziness. And this is Detroit. Or Detroit, as the Canadians like to say. And look at all these empty seats. Hey, you don't want your team. Don't worry. Somebody else will take them. Speaking of, how about this Houston story today? I like to take credit for this wholeheartedly. I'm not that stupid. But I do think that it was cool that we were talking about Houston picking up a National Hockey League team. And here we are with this is the big headline today. Houston with a National Hockey League team. You know? Especially, I'm trying to think when we were talking about it was a couple episodes ago. We were talking about Ottawa moving over to Quebec. Ottawa, the same thing. I expect there to be some empty seats in Ottawa. That's always been an issue. You're going to get empty seats in Florida. You're going to get empty seats in Arizona. But empty seats in Detroit? I get that they've taken a step back. But look, Zetterberg is still in the lineup. You still have Jimmy Howard. There's still, I know they're going to be challenging for a playoff spot. I know they're not a guaranteed in. But, you know, it's still Detroit. You know? I don't remember the Joe being all that empty. Maybe are the seats too expensive now? Is that what's going on over there in Detroit? I really don't know. I'm going to do my research in on it. But I was shocked to see that. Be a good, it's not exactly an exciting rivalry between Calgary and Detroit, but I'll take it. You know what I was thinking about too? Who's going to be Vegas's rivalry? I was just thinking about that today. Like, who's Vegas going to start to be a rival with? You would think naturally it would be Arizona, little desert dogs, little desert, desert Duke or whatever. But Arizona stinks so bad. I don't even know. Can you build a rivalry with a team that's technically dead? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Is it a rivalry when a team only wins 4 games a year? I don't know how it works. I really don't. Houston will take the Arizona Coyotes. This is the story from The Athletic. And by the way, on Twitter, I forget who it was sent me this on Twitter, at NHL Houston, I think it was. I invited them to come in and chat on the show. I don't know if we'll get them. They probably know more about this than I do, but there's a whole movement in place already for a team in Houston. And the story out of the Atlanta, from our old buddy Katie String, who used to cover the Islanders here for ESPN in New York. National Hockey League had preliminary discussions about the potential viability of an NHL team in Houston, The Athletic has learned. Multiple sources confirmed that there was a recent meeting between the NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman and Houston Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta. Do we have any frittatas here? Because I'm starving. I didn't even have dinner yet. I would love a frittata. At the league's office in New York, it is believed the meeting between Bettman and Fertitta took place within the past few weeks. When reached via telephone Wednesday evening, Bettman declined to comment on the meeting. He refuted the notion that the NHL was actively looking for relocation options. We're not relocating any of our clubs right now, he told The Athletic. When asked whether Houston would be considered if that changes, he responded, if Houston were to express an interest in having an NHL franchise under the right circumstances, it's something we may want to consider. I think this is definitely one of those where there's smoke, there's fire situations, I think that I got some more here to read for you here, but I think that it's super possible that, like I said this earlier, I think the NHL is going to seriously start exploring the Houston area. I mean, it's a major sports town. They have a ton of, sports fans there. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Pop up the Athletic here so you can see a bit of the article. You don't have to stare at my face so much. There you go. Let's see here. Right circumstances, we would consider it. When asked for Teddy, who could not be immediately reached for comment. Let me see here. He purchased the Houston Rockets in December for $2.2 billion. Previously expressed interest. Yeah, that was the issue with the Houston, I believe. Right? It's that the old Houston Rockets owner wanted nothing to do with the National Hockey League. Now, forgive me, but I forget what the reasonings were. I wish we had the Houston guys calling in on this one. 631-438-1768. That's 631-438-1768. Again, if you call and you don't get in right away, just give it a second. I forget what the reason was exactly, but I know that was the issue. The old owner of the Rockets wanted nothing to do with the National Hockey League, or thought it was bad business, or some kind of absurd garbage that basically it didn't allow the Houston area to be considered for an NHL team. But now that there is a new owner in there, and again, $2.2 billion, so I don't know who this Furtada is, but God, with just anything with an egg, I'll take an omelet at this point. Swear, I'm starving. He is not being shy about this whatsoever. He told Houston's Fox affiliate station last month, quote, "I would love to bring an NHL team here. It's just got to make sense. It'd be hard to fathom that we can't support an NHL team here. Zero has happened, but we will start looking at it." News of Houston's potential viability comes at a time when 3 NHL teams are seeking new arenas and encountering significant difficulty. The commissioner was recently in Stockholm, Sweden for the league's Global Series game between the Ottawa Senators and the Colorado Avalanche, before which he publicly expressed the need for Ottawa to obtain a new building. Talking relocation now on the Hockey Talk Show at 631-438-1768. Let me know if you have an opinion on this one. New downtown arena is vitally important to the long-term future and stability and competitiveness of the Senators, Bettman told reporters. The process is ongoing, but I think Mr. Melnick or the Senators, the status would be more appropriate than asking us. However, we believe there needs to be a solution for the long term. The Senators are reportedly in negotiations with the National Capital Commission about a new arena in downtown Ottawa. Let's go on over to the phones. 830 area code. Who am I talking to?
Hey, it's Ball Peach Ant. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Chilling, man. Chilling. I'm actually here in South Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas. And, man, I didn't even know they were talking about a Houston team, and you were just kind of the first to break it to me. And that's exciting for us down here, man. I mean, all we have is the Dallas Stars, and they're kind of the reason why I became a Devils fan. Strangely enough. Because, the Stars, the Devils, and the Stanley Cups, and I was the rebel child that wanted to root for the other teams, so I got into the Devils, and that's how I got into hockey. But yeah, I think that's a good thing if they do bring hockey. I know they just lost their AHL team because of, I think it was just like the arena and the owner, and so they just decided to leave. But that would be really cool to see Houston have all 4 teams now.
I think the city is now. How far are you from Houston?
Oh, I'm maybe 3.5 hours away.
Oh, so that's not bad. You could do that.
Yeah, no, it ain't bad at all. Dallas is like 6 hours away. I mean, I'm in South Texas, where, I'm not like at the border, but I'm closer to Houston than I am Dallas. But traveling in Texas is like traveling across the whole United States sometimes. It would just be nice. Oh, what was that?
Dude, I get it, man. I'm about 30 miles away from where the Islanders play, and it'll take me 3.5 hours to get there.
Yeah, y'all got that New York traffic.
I guess you can call it New York traffic. I just call it cars standing still on the highway. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have that luxury down here, thankfully. I'm actually kind of glad, but y'all get more hockey than we do, so I guess y'all kind of luck out on that.
I guess so, yeah. But you know what, though? I think that I think that once you get, you know, it becomes a different world, and we saw it in Florida too. Even though the Panthers are struggling, it became more exciting for the entire state once you had two teams in the state.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Dallas will have a real rival, I think, you know, because they've had some rivals, and I mean, I don't know. Arizona, I guess you could call us a bit, but it's not. I mean, like you said, you know, who's Vegas' big rival going to be Arizona? And that's not really a rivalry,
right?
That's just
yeah. I mean,
it's just a little brother you beat up on, you know.
No, it's true. Rivalries are super important. Like, you know, Dallas had some good one, like, again, Colorado, Detroit at times, but those were because both teams were good. You know, the Islander-Ranger rivalry is intense, even when both teams are terrible. You know, that's how you can tell you got a good rivalry at your hands. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
But definitely enjoy the show, man. Just wanted to call and chime in on that. It was news to me, and really enjoy the show, man, and I hope to see it grow, and I'm going to share it as much as possible down here in South Texas, bud.
Yeah, that'd be killer, dude. I would really appreciate that, and thanks so much for the participation so far.
Yeah, not a problem, man. You take it easy, bud.
All right, later. All right, Ball Peach. It's our all-star right now on the Hockey Talk Show. 631-438-1768. Yeah, so Houston going in. I'm excited for Houston. I don't know why. I think the Arrows being there, that was a cool thing for a long time. I think it's a huge state in the union. You know, you got a lot of people in that area overall. Maybe sort of like a regional thing with some of those southern states, you know, that you would normally, you know, like I don't think New Orleans is going to get a team anytime soon, although that would kind of be cool, you know. But, you know, you go down in there and you look at some of that area of the country. And, you know, I just think, you know, something like that would be just fun. You know, I just think it would just be fun to kind of have it. Again, your natural rivalry with Texas. It's a bit of a drive from San Antonio and Austin, but at least it's something. You know, maybe you're getting Louisiana involved, New Orleans, Alabama, Mississippi. Again, I don't know what the regional cable deals are down there, but, you know, that's kind of what happens, you know. For the longest time, Arizona was the only thing, and the Coyotes were the only thing really sort of, you know, servicing that area in between Denver and, you know, the California teams, you know, and now you have Vegas sort of in there and splitting that up. But, you know, Vegas and Idaho and Wyoming and Utah, you know, they make these deals, radio deals, cable deals. You become a regional team, and I think that that's what Houston could really become. Now, it's an interesting process, and we can talk about this ad nauseum. How do they get a franchise? Obviously, I believe the league prefers expansion. And Gary Bettman, we know he does not like to move franchises. I don't think he could move Ottawa to Houston. I think if he's going to move Ottawa, he has to keep that in Canada. I honestly don't foresee, for his legacy's sake, Gary Bettman having the ability to move a Canadian franchise to, I mean, honest to goodness, you talk to most Canadians and they're upset that Florida and Arizona have a franchise to begin. I mean, they're pissed. They're pissed about Arizona, and they are super embarrassed, by the way, about Ottawa. I mean, they are super embarrassed. The Canadians are a proud bunch of people, man, and they are embarrassed by Ottawa. But they're really upset. They thought that the Winnipeg Jets was a big victory for them. They didn't think that Atlanta deserved a franchise, and they were super happy to see them come up. And, you know, they also, you know, they know that Ottawa is an issue, but I don't think they want to see them lose a team to, you know, Houston or Seattle. It's weird to say this, but I think they'd be more okay with Seattle than they would Houston, because Houston is such a super non-traditional market, whereas Seattle, you would have a natural rivalry with Vancouver, and so I don't know if they would really mind that all that much. A lot of Seattle is consumed in Vancouver. You know, the Mariners are big there. The Seahawks are big in Vancouver. They have presence there, so it's almost kind of like having another team in Canada. So they would take that one easier, I think, than Houston. But I think, you know, if you ask any NHL fan in Canada, they're upset that Arizona has been allowed to continue to struggle as a franchise, and they're sitting there with Quebec. They're sitting there with, honestly, Toronto. Many feel that Toronto, Hamilton, could take a second team. I certainly think Toronto could take a second team. But if you look at the foothold, the reason why the Arizona Coyotes exist, and the reason why, the Miami, the Florida Panthers exist, and all these things, and the reason why Vegas was so good is it's a regional foothold. It's a regional foothold. It's money. See, people don't understand that. People look at the Coyotes and they think, well, the stands are empty. Why do they have a team? Well, take a look at what the NHL and who they do business with. Coors, all the big tire companies, Hertz Rent-A-Car, that's money. You don't think Hertz wants to move some cars in Arizona? Of course they do. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. So is it a great franchise right now? No, but it's still money for the National Hockey League because it's a footprint in these areas, and their big time sponsors, need that kind of stuff. Think about this. I mean, I know this is a real down inside marketing thing. This is the other kind of stuff I do in radio and all that, but you're going to go advertise with a league. All right. And you're Hertz Rent-A-Car. And that these, 37 markets are important to you. And the NHL is only in 26 of them. And the NBA is in 28 of them. And the NBA is a little bit more expensive, but you're getting more, you know what I'm saying? So these are the things that the National Hockey League is dealing with. That's why they don't like a team moving very quickly. They hated losing a U.S. team to Winnipeg because that doesn't mean anything to Hertz because they're spending their money in the States. That's where they're worried about their money. And my man, Ball Beach, Houston, fourth largest city. And yeah, it's a big city. That was, I think, I said that in the other show. One of the main reasons why that market is so appealing. Now, you have to work in order to build up your fan base there. But on the other hand, you're pulling from a lot more availability because of flat out the amount of people that are in the area and available to you. So although your work may be cut out for you, you certainly have a better chance at pulling in a little bit more because of the amount of people that are just, in the area. I do want to talk about a couple of masks really quick because Thomas Greiss got a new look for the New York Islanders. I don't know if I'm going to have the ability to bring that up. I thought I was a second ago. But Malcolm Subban is, here we go. Paying tribute to the U.S. military once again. Just beautiful work here. Again, he's got all divisions of the military here. You see a little Marine action down there, regular Army down there. I know he's got, he's got the special ops. Move this a bit for you here. American flag on the back. Of course, he's got his hometown deal right there. Aisles in. Airborne infantry up at the top. Here's a better look at the, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Special forces. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, right? Really nice. Malcolm Subban, look at him, though. Sport in Vegas. I tell you what, there is so much potential with Vegas. So much potential with like a Vegas-style mask. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at this Vegas sign in here. The Eiffel Tower from the Paris Hotel. Got the Vegas Knights logo right there. The alt patch down below. Let me drop those lower thirds for you so you get a good look at it. Look at the alternative patch in below. Look at the small little Vegas Knights. Look at the detail in there. Can I zoom on that? I don't think so. Just beautiful detail. Oh, I can. Blammer. Look at the little Vegas Knights. Look at that. So pretty. NHL logo in there. He works in the red. I kind of don't like the red in the Vegas Knights uniform. I've said that before, but I think he makes it work there. Got Vegas on the overview. Other side, super simple. I like just the skyline of that desert skyline. You go to Vegas, and one of the things that you notice outside of legalized prostitution and the ability to lose $46 in a McDonald's gambling is the fact that the city is really gorgeous. Like, you look off at the mountains in the distance and the lights and everything, and when you get a second to just stop and look at the city, it's gorgeous, you know? And everything does have that sort of golden reddish hue to it. All the mountains and everything. So pretty. So nice. Loving Malcolm Subban's helmet right there. And to wrap it up on the Hockey Talk Show for tonight, let's get into these guys right here. Edmonton Oilers. Look at number 13 right there. Slotted in the lineup with Ryan, I'm not really here, Strome, and Pakarinen. Who's going to be slotted on the third line. Now, they're keeping Draisaitl up there. Now, again, this is just dailyfaceoff.com, who do a tremendous job. But, if Todd McClellan wants to change his mind 10 minutes before the game, he's going to do that, or mix up the lines in the middle of it, he's going to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 13 slotted alongside 97 at some point in this game. I would not be surprised. But again, I talked about this when we looked at the New York Islanders lineup. This is a more offensive-driven team. UC Jokinen on that third line makes it a checking line. Mike Camilleri on that line makes it a scoring line. Just one player can tilt the whole thing and make a difference in there. One player has the ability to, really make that happen for your franchise. And Mike Camilleri is that kind of player. Do I think he's coming in and scoring 40 goals? Nope. But I think he's going to be a lot better than, UC Jokinen, who was just a total zero and a minus. I mean, respectable career and a good guy from what I understand, but not going to help out your franchise. And good on the Edmonton Oilers for pulling the trigger on that move. Quickly, we'll address just one insane rumor that I heard. Do we have anything else on the thing? Nah. Let me see here. I'll just do last comment. Yeah, the Toyota Center down there in Houston holds 17,800 for hockey. For Tada, he expressed a desire to fill additional dates in the arena beyond it. Its use as an NBA arena and a premier concert venue. He said, do I want to see Toyota Center filled up 300 nights a year? Definitely. I would put an NHL team here tomorrow. That's a big part of it too for these arenas. We're dealing with this issue right now in the New York area. We got a lot of dark nights in the arenas. A lot of nights where your room is dark. You don't want that. You want to fill that room up as much as possible, because either way, you got to run the lights, you got to have security, you're paying the electric bill, all this stuff. The more you fill up that building, the more revenue there is there for a owner. So yeah,
things are official, so just tried to get things settled as quick as we could, but happy to be here.
Lots changes fast. I mean, a move from there to Edmonton, there's a lot that goes with that, so maybe just talk about dealing with that.
A different wardrobe, certainly. No, I'm just really excited about the hockey opportunity. Coming to this team and where this team's at and where it wants to go, and there's really not all that much to say other than that, is that I'm just really excited to come play hockey here.
I love the balls on the Oilers press corps. I mean, they got real balls. Listen to their next line of questioning.
Is this about opportunity? Were you not maybe getting the opportunity you thought you needed to in LA? Or?
It's I don't think it does. It's conducive to anybody to talk about what happened prior. But again, looking forward to playing hockey tonight for the Edmonton Oilers.
Do you feel like you still have the ability to contribute offensively at a significant level, more significant than you had there even?
I do. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out shortly.
That's the question, right?
I love that. Do you feel you still can you? Do you suck now? Are you? I mean, literally, they're like 2 seconds away from being like, "Are you terrible? Do you feel like you contribute?" I mean, they have no hold back, no holds barred.
35-year-old goal scorer comes to town. The question is, what's left? Like, how much do you think you got left?
Yeah. So you guys get the fun job of predicting all that, and we'll see who's right or wrong.
Like, do you feel more
How much do you have left?
You feel better on the left?
I've taken more reps on the left, which I guess would lead to.
I mean, honest to goodness, they're too much. They're just too much. Do you feel you can contribute? You got anything left? Good for Camilleri. He's clearly just happy to be there. Break. RDS's Norman Flynn told 690 Toronto TSN Montreal host. Did I say Toronto Montreal? Montreal's TSN Montreal 690. Tony Marinaro. He wouldn't be surprised if the Montreal Canadiens traded goaltender Carey Price soon. He notes the Canadiens and Price haven't been forthcoming regarding the goaltender's injury status. While Flynn didn't cite any sources and was merely speaking for himself, he nevertheless said it wouldn't surprise him if Price was traded by as early as next week. He feels Price's injury status is mysterious, noting the goaltender said following his last game on November 2nd against the Minnesota Wild, he wasn't hurt, yet he hasn't played since. Marinaro and Flynn also discussed the possibility of Price is suffering from mental fatigue. There's only one person with mental issues in this scenario. It's Norman Flynn. Is this guy smoking crack? Taking a big crack hit before he goes on the air? They got him on like a 10-year, $10.5 million, or was it 8 years the max? 8-year, $10.5 million deal, which kicks in next season. He's got a full-on no-trade clause. Why would they move him? And even if they wanted to, why would he want to move? I don't think that Carey Price doesn't not want to be the goaltender in Montreal. I don't foresee that happening. I don't foresee that happening whatsoever. And even if he did, and he's hurt and mentally fatigued, how is that appealing at all to another franchise? Hey, got a player here. He's losing his marbles. He's hurt a lot, and he makes $10.5 million. He's going to be making $10.5 million, probably way past his prime. So what do you want to give me for him? I mean, who is knocking on that door? Honestly, who is knocking on that door? Name a franchise that is so great, sans the goalie position, that they would be desperate enough to acquire Carey Price with all these issues. It's just not happening. It's just delusional. It is just flat out delusional. Bob McKenzie's Wednesday appearance on TSN 1050 in Toronto discussing defenseman Oliver Ekman-Larsson's future with the Arizona Coyotes. I think this is something that we really need to keep our eye on. McKenzie doesn't believe Coyotes management is contemplating a move of Ekman-Larsson. He's eligible in 2019 for unrestricted free agency. It raises whether or not he'll sign with the struggling club. Ekman-Larsson is the type of defenseman who would be useful for the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's not going to happen. Sorry, Toronto fans. Nichols points out that the blue liner lacks no trade protection. John Chaika has repeatedly stated that Ekman-Larsson isn't available, and a lot of people believe that. The issue that I find is, yeah, he may not be available now, but how available is he going to be when he's coming up on free agency and he doesn't re-sign? How available is he going to be after July 1 when he has the ability to re-sign a year before his contract expires and he wants nothing to do with you? How available is he going to be before training camp? How available is he really going to be unsigned, heading into restricted free agency before the trade deadline? Super available. So John Chaika might be right, but if he is, he might be suffering from some mental fatigue because, you know, he might walk and you don't want a player walking. You certainly don't want a player walking like that for nothing, to get nothing in return. I mean, that can't happen. That really can't happen. So, I get John Chaika is trying to be Mr. Tough Guy GM right now. And of course, what else would you expect him to be? But if you can't sign Oliver Ekman-Larsson, you're not going to let him walk away. If you can't get him on July 1 right now, what makes you think you're going to get him? And I don't know Oliver Ekman-Larsson back into the desert.